How is Banjo Guy Ollie?
He is an asshole!
Indeed.
I'm right here. Folks, how are you doing? So today I am on the road once again because I need to go and pick up a few parts from my friend over on the other side of the country. Same person I picked up the Operation Wood from, and he has a few parts from me that I was interested in. He's sort of emptying his storage container and getting rid of stuff he hasn't touched in a while, so that's perfect. And these were very cheap. He's sorting me out with bro prices as well, so thank you very much, dude. But first we need to get there. It's a 2.5 hours journey to get there, and same to get back. Let's go. Woo! Mr. President, this is ridiculous.
Just do it.
PCBWay has sponsored a new video.
Who the hell are they?
They offer PCB manufacturing and part assembly, of course, but they also offer a number of other services like CNC machining, metal sheet fabrication, 3D printing, and even injection molding. Go to PCBWay.com, upload your project files, and get an instant quote. And thank you to them for sponsoring this video.
What should we do, Mr. President?
Get the president on the phone.
Dude, you are the president.
I'll have what she's having.
And I'm back home, and this is what I got. It was actually a much more pleasant trip than I thought, and it was rather quick. It was very quiet on the road. It's the advantage of leaving early. Anyway, we'll make this quick. Interesting. So what I got here was a monitor. You can see there's quite a bit of burn. I'm trying to see what it was. Credit, yeah, but there's an overlapping of different stuff. Anybody recognize what this is? I certainly don't. But it looks like there was first a horizontal game put in there. What would that be? Reflection doesn't help. What is this? Looks like the logo of something. This is one, so it looks like it was a vertical game, and then there's a score here, and then there's a score here. So this has seen multiple burn, but that's okay. I wanted it for a few reasons. First, I wanted it for the tube. I have tubes that I can replace this with anyway. And I also wanted it for the chassis. This is a Antarex 900, not a 900E, a 900. And I've never worked on those. They're not entirely dissimilar to the 900E, although the chassis is slightly different. I needed it for the frame because I want at some point to repro that frame because I have a few tubes but I don't have a frame, so I want to make copies of that and do a bit of metal work. And I'm not sure if I'll work on this chassis specifically, but it should be compatible with the 900E that is here, and this one is one I need to fix down the line, so I might just do a chassis swap. What's handy with those as well is that a lot of there's a transformer on it that goes bad all the time on the 900E because of manufacturing reasons, and it's compatible with the one that's on here, I think. I've fixed a few of these using one of those, and anyway, I have a box of these chassis. There's about 20 of them in there. I just don't like them. They're a bit awkward, and yeah, they're kind of an older model of the 900, and I mean, look at that suction cup. That is, the plastic always goes bad and rigid on these anyway. So I don't know what we'll do, but this essentially was, I think it was 30 quid. He's offered to do it for free, but I'm gonna send him more money. He wasn't there, so I just picked it up out of his garden. It's so hard to find them. You can find plenty of 14-inch, plenty of 25 or 28 inches, but 19-inch is so rare to find nowadays. So when you see one, you get it. The other thing I got before I go to the Sega Bell, you've seen it already, is this is a bootleg Galaga. Again, this was, I can't remember, was it 20 or whatever? Look, it's the he said he was okay with 50 euros. I'm going to send him more than that because this, I said before, this hobby is about trust and respect and that kind of stuff. And 50 quid is a good price for any one of those items already. So I think he'll get more than that for sure. Thank you, dude. But I'll send you more because that just isn't right. I wanted a bootleg for a while of Galaga to repro the customs on the original. The bootleg has found a way to repro the logic of the customs that are on the Galaga. And the problem with those customs, the Namco customs, is they work well. They don't often fail. They're not the central point of failure on these boards, but when you take them out to the legs, whatever material the legs are made with, or whatever metal or alloy they used, is very fragile and brittle. So they tarnish really quickly. You take the chip out to kind of clean them a bit, and very often as you clean them, the legs break. They're so fragile and tarnished that they just break instantly. Sometimes even just removing it will break the legs. And they're custom. When they're gone, they're gone. You have to scavenge them from either find a way to fix the leg, which you can do with a Dremel, but or scavenge them from another board. We don't want to do that. And one of the things they've done is they've repro'd one of the custom with a little daughter board like that. The other ones, I think there's a few here, but the other ones are on the other board. And as you can see, it's all TTL. So we'll have to do a little bit of reverse engineering, see what the bootleggers did, but the goal is to repro most, if not all, of these customs. I haven't decided whether I'll do daughter boards because it might get too big. I might do both versions, a big daughter board and maybe a CPLD version. It'll be a good way to get into the world of CPLDs, I suppose. I might need to ask my friend Terrible Fire about that. What he thinks. Not to do it for me, but what he thinks I should use for one of those. Last, the Sega Bell. Oh my god! So this is not a working or a complete unit. It's pretty much hollow on the back, but I wanted it just as a display item. I have plans of converting this space here to the new arcade room, although it doesn't look like it right now, but down the line I need to finish this roof here and then put all my stuff here upstairs and move what's in the arcade on the other side of the back wall here and move all the tools. The parts will go upstairs. I'll have a lot more room here, etc, etc. Anyway, so this is a display item for that. I don't think I'll ever find the parts, at least not for a good price, to restore this. And even if I did, there's stuff like that, all the art that's kind of gone here, that's actually inside out. There's stuff on the other side, the art, but just as a cleaned up and polished slightly. Don't even gonna bother redoing the paint. It's got its own sort of patina. I might need to replace the wood or even slightly sand it, clean the side, that kind of stuff. Maybe find an arm just for the looks, but the rest we can keep it hollow and like that. Anyway, so that's more stuff, more project. I also have a few of these monitors that I picked them up in France. Well, first I have this big tube here, 19-inch tube for this guy, because I think we'll have to replace it. We'll see what to do. I think this is going to go. This guy is going into the chase.
that's for the Upwolf, and this is probably gonna go into this other cab, which is a Power Drift that I have for quite a while, and it's just been sitting here waiting to be restored. And it's another great Sega game. I have these monitors that I picked up in France. In fact, there was a lot more. There was another 1085 and there was another 1083. Was it a 1084? I can't remember. But anyway, so I gave one to Terrible Fire, Stephen Leary, and it was an Atari monitor, and I'm not really an Atari collector, so I gave that to Dave from This Week in Retro, and so that's gone to him now. But this guy here needs a lot of work. The PCB is broken in multiple parts. I don't know if it's a common thing with those 1085. Remember the one I fixed before on the channel was in bits. This is even worse. That's going to be an interesting fix. Hence all the tape around it. I think this is just a flyback and a new button replacement. There's an Amstrad monitor here that kind of work. I think there's a problem with the yoke because it sort of looks like the colors are out of phase, so maybe a rearranger in the yoke, and there's a pin cushion issue, but the rest is working. At least we got high voltage. And this is what is it, 1960 Commodore. That is, I think it's a flyback issue as well. The flyback is screeching on this, so quite a few monitor issues. So the other 1085S was actually working. What was it? I think it was just it just needed adjustment, but it's working fine. It's upstairs up there, and so that's already fixed. So I have those 4 to fix on the channel coming up as well. And here the plan, maybe not for this winter, because I've quite a lot to do until December with the house, but the plan is to extend this year for storage. So all of this is going to go up there, and ideally I'd like to move the arcade here to a somewhat bigger space. So from here to where the heater is, maybe do a box around it and just go behind maybe the stairs, something like that. We'll find the best way and move all of this to where the arcade is, because it's just storage space. It's just stuff for storage. We've cleared quite a bit on those shelves as well, because I've done another shed, or 2 sheds. Let me show you actually. Let's go on a tour. All the sheds we've put stuff here. This is our storage sheds. So all these machines here. That are here are going to go. I mean, I'll have twice as much space as that, and I should be able to put the all the stuff that is in the blue shed as well. So the outrun to the crazy taxi and the pinball. So right now I have this shed that I finished building a couple of summers ago. It's essentially woodworking, so whenever I need to work on wood, I come here. We also have this one. I keep forgetting about this guy. But so this is essentially where I work now, and it's an open space, so all the dust goes away. It's very, very handy. So I do very little work in where those arcade machines are nowadays. And speaking of wood, this is my winter so far. I've been chopping all this wood since October, and I still have quite a bit to do. We had 2 big trees that needed to be taken down in front of the house. So the other space I have, I'm just going to show you that now. So all the garden stuff, lawnmower, all that kind of stuff is now here. All my surfing gear is here. My wing foiling gear is here. So all of that is now, it's got its own space. Anyway. These were the 2 massive trees that were in the front lawn. And this is all the wood I've left to cut. So I've done the wood that's in the shed was a giant pile here that was actually up to here. So I think I have a third left. So I'll have room for that, probably room for, I'd say, most, if not half of that for storage, and the rest we'll have to figure out. But these are big logs. Yeah, so it's a mix of a chainsaw and an axe and of a wood splitter. These are going to be interesting to cut. They're massive, but what I'll probably do, like I was thinking of doing seats with those, actually cutting them, like leaving armrests on each side, just carving down that area. I just do seats because quite a few, and I doubt I'll be able to cut all of them at least this year down. So we might as well reuse them for stuff and maybe give some to the neighbors as well. We'll see. It's one of the reasons I haven't been able to put out as many videos recently. Pretty much every weekend has been busy cutting wood, and managed to go surfing a few times as well, so that's been nice. But yeah, that has priority over pretty much anything else at the moment. Also, you will see this in another video, but I've entirely stripped the Operation Wolf cab of everything. Essentially, there was so much dampness had seeped in so much that the main board here sits on a piece of wood that normally slides out, and that was so swollen from just absorbing dampness that I couldn't slide it out. I had to hammer it out pretty drastically, and even that was tough. That took me a couple of days just to get, but now I have everything open, hoping air circulates a little bit in to dry it, to prevent that white mold from spreading too much. And tomorrow or the day after, I'm going to spread this with vinegar just to kill the mold, and then we're going to replace everything, because there's no point keeping all that. Mold has actually gone in the wood. It goes deep in the wood, like, you know, you can clean it, but it's a matter of time until it comes back. So these edges, this, and what the monitor is resting on has mold here, and this was the PCB assembly. The gun is here, so I have all of that dismantled so I can treat the cab first, leave that rest for the winter, and we're going to tackle that maybe next summer. So it's a while away, but first we'll have to do this. Anyway, folks, there you go. This was sort of an update video on what is this new part. Not sure what I'll do with that, but I couldn't let it pass. It's a cool item, and it might make a nice decoration down the line in this space. Project repro bits for the Namco Customs and a new monitor, and then status of projects and why there hasn't been as many videos recently. Anyway, folks, I hope this was at least somewhat interesting anyway to watch. Thank you for watching. Again, there's a Discord if you want to talk about stuff. It's mostly music and nonsense. And there's a Patreon if you want to help the channel, or YouTube memberships. And thank you for watching. I'll see you next time.